When we have our next meeting, I want to and see if I can.
All right, we'll just stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everyone for coming. If you could just check your cell phones and make sure that they're off or on silent. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
I would like a motion to approve the minutes for December 16th, 2019.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second motion?
all in favor?
Aye.
Chad, just so you know, the ads from the paper here, both for the meetings and for tonight's meeting.
Yes, so the ads are up front. If anybody would like to see them that were in the newspaper or our meetings, feel free to go up and take a look if you'd like. Correspondence, Kathleen?
I have the 2020 appointment list, the procurement policy, the Humane Society contract for 2020 for approval. I have 2 budget modifications for the Highway Department, 4 for the Supervisor's Office, the 2020 investment policy, the 2020 salary schedule, a certificate of completion, continuing clerk education for court clerk Lisa Bacigalupo, and a certificate of completion for continuing judicial education for Honorable Joseph Hoskin, the completed fuel agreement for the Howells Fire District, correspondence, which you all got copies of, from New York State DEC for the Speedies permit for Hidden Valley, a copy of an email with regard to the dog control officer, correspondence from the Association of Towns with all their information regarding their session and group sessions for the February meetings, copy of proposed local law with regard to amending sign regulations, and a copy of the proposed local law with regard to amending the zoning law. The building department report for December 19 impoundment report from Palmer's Ark, and the 2019 impound summary for the entire year. That's all that I have.
Thanks, Kathleen. Board member reports. What do you got, Jim?
I have 2 things. January 16th at 7 p.m. will be the village meeting, and the planning board meeting will be on the 15th of January at 7 p.m. That's all I have.
Thanks, Jim. Chris?
As of right now, there is no ZBA meeting, and I just want to thank everybody for coming to, I was just sworn in for my first full term, and I really appreciate working with you guys and for the town, and I'm looking forward to the next 4.
Brian?
Councilman Howell and myself are going to do the audits on Saturday for the department audits, so we're going to take care of that Saturday. I'd like to thank the county executive for coming up and doing my swearing-in ceremony. Again, it's going to be an interesting 4 years, just like the last 4 years were, but look forward to it. And next meeting I'll have more, since I just got my new committee listing.
Matt?
Brian covered it. We're gonna take care of the audit.
Super. Couple things that I want to go over. So we're going to vote on all of these things, but we had a little bit of an issue with the current software we're using. We're using QuickBooks and another one. Angie and I signed on with a new company, which I think is going to be really, really good for our accounting software, where it'll be one step. So currently how it is you would enter payroll, and then you have to get out of the payroll system and go and re-enter it into something else. And With that being said, I'm a little slower than normal doing the budget modifications, because there's certain lines I can't see if they're actually accurate yet. So, next meeting, I will do the rest of 2019 budget modifications, so. I wanted to say that, and also, tonight we're gonna vote on the Humane Society of Middletown, which has been our backup for the last 3 years. There's 0 fee, this is just a, there's 0 fee unless you bring an animal there. It's just a backup in the event that something happens with Brothers, so, the contract didn't come to me until the day after our last meeting, so that's why it's being done now. Highway, what do you got, Dean?
The community rec center, the, half with the library and the exercise room, I guess it is. The floors are ready, the carpet guy is gonna meet me at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Going with the estimate that he had given us for whatever specified carpet in the library.
Okay.
And carpet tiles in the big room and the small office.
Okay,
He's gonna bring out samples of, colors. You guys have a preference, grays, blue?
something that would hide dirt.
Yeah,
So dark color,
Yeah,
okay.
Dean, will the entranceway in be a different color than the rest of the room?
No, I think we'll have to definitely put in, runners
Okay,
to protect the car.
okay,
Definitely have to have some runners.
just in case it's muddy and whatever else.
yeah, I was up there tonight, that siding is, I mean, it's all really coming together.
Yeah.
So,
Good with it. And
Yeah,
also,
he had some questions for me today. I didn't get an answer from Darren and Jason, but I'll try them again in the morning. The insulation guy was there to spray the ductwork in the back,
okay,
so we'll be siding that tomorrow with plywood so that the siding guy can cover it with siding.
super.
Coming along, we've started the tile in the restrooms, and, kitchen will be the last to be tiled. But, after we finish up there tomorrow on the siding on the ductwork, I'm probably gonna have 5 guys start doing some, wood cutting alongside the roads. I've got a lot of dead trees we gotta take care of. I've given the Nelson Tree Company that parks out there, I've given them a list. They're looking to get authorization through O&R to assist us for a couple of weeks. So,
Well, this next week, the weather's looking really promising, so.
60s on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, it's all coming along. Our electrician's away on his cruise, but when he gets back, he's got all the lights to put in. The ceilings that we put up, they're all done, kitchen, bathroom, library, office. We just need the lights
Super,
in. All right?
thanks so much, Dean. Mike?
Happy New Year. Congratulations to everyone that's swearing in. I don't have anything unless anyone has any questions. I think Chief's on his way, so he might have something to add, but
Okay,
until then.
super. Village of Roseville, Diane?
Sorry I'm late, but I have nothing to report, so it's okay.
Okay,
Happy New Year to everybody.
Chad, I got a couple other things related to highways. When we put the new playground up, we brought back old playground equipment here. We never surplused it, so I can't throw it away. Both pieces were purchased back in 1996, so we definitely had their share of wear and tear. I would like them to be cleared surplus so we can just throw them away.
okay,
And the other thing is, I'd given Matt some quote back on an excavator. It's just like the one we rented for 3 months last year. I'd like, authorization to purchase it. It would be brand new Kubota KX 057. It would be through, purchase would be through Sourcewell, which is the old NJPA.
Okay,
So we're getting $21,000 discount through them. Final price on it is $72,316.59.
How often do you use this, Dean, excavator? How much did it charge to, how much do we pay to rent it? You said 3 months.
I don't know the numbers offhand. I mean, it's easy enough to look up, but I don't have it on hand.
Dean, and when we had discussed this piece of equipment could replace two that you currently use, or be used in place of two that you currently use, is that correct? Two older pieces, the
Well-
backhoe and a great all?
Yes, we come in a ditching bucket and a digging bucket. It's primarily to replace our backhoe. Our backhoe is 1993 Ford that is just, it's on its last legs, but after using this last year and discussion with all the guys, everybody would rather have a mini excavator than a backhoe. It's so much easier to get around. It can do everything the backhoe can, if not more, except load a truck, which we have two loaders, so. It's up to the board. I asked for an excavator a few years back, and there was a discussion about it, but this one's affordable, and we definitely can use it.
okay. I would like a motion to approve surplusing the old playground equipment and having it disposed of.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Does anyone have any questions on the excavator before I put it up?
I'll have to look into this more before we vote on it. Can we table it for next meeting?
How long is the deal good for? Dean?
I don't know. The quote was given to us back in late September. I think it was for 6 months, I'm not sure.
What does everybody else think?
We budgeted for this. This is something obviously we're gonna need in the future, and
It would definitely come out of our budget line. I got $80,000 in equipment.
all I needed to know.
You wanna make a motion?
I'd like to use it maybe once if we get it.
Huh?
I'll make the motion that we,
You're making a motion that we buy an excavator KX057 for $72,316.59.
that was KX what?
057?
Yep.
Yes.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Vacancies for the ZBA. Chris, you're looking at doing a couple more interviews,
Yep, a couple more interviews and then we'll have a decision.
maybe even by next meeting.
I will definitely try.
Super. And, Jim, you're,
Oh, yes, we met with the candidates and Mr. Howe, the planning board chairman, recommended Blair Reynolds for the positions.
Okay,
So I'd like to
you've
make,
applied, it's
we
gonna
can
be
make a motion
approved,
for that.
he
Sure.
takes care of that,
So,
it'll get approved,
and-
and as soon as it gets approved,
Blair would
it'll
be
go
the
executive.
alternate.
okay.
It'll be executive.
So a motion
It will not-
to approve,
It will not affect this
Blair
January.
Blair Reynolds
Right now, it won't
to
affect
be an
that
alternate on the planning board.
by March. But it'll be effective.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Your school taxes in September.
Thank you.
Court receipts, I had just got another thing from the court themselves. I just wanted to bring it up so that we're on video saying that we're
Saturday.
definitely doing the audit.
We're not gonna video us doing it, but we'll be here Saturday.
Well, I'm sure you guys will do a great job like you always do.
And with the Board of Assessment review vacancies, just to follow up on that, I'm gonna be scheduling some interviews for that for those candidates that are interested. So hopefully at the next meeting again, we'll have a recommendation there as
Super.
well.
Okay, so the local laws, Kathleen went over them in correspondence. The sign law one, I'm gonna work on again, with David and the board. We're not gonna put that one up right now. The other local law is to make changes that the planning board has asked us to make which would require a public hearing. So at this time, I'd like to, is that all one local law?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to set a public hearing, which we do not have a calendar, for the next meeting, which I believe is January 22nd, because it's Martin Luther King Day.
21st.
It's a Tuesday.
It's two.
Do Martin Luther King Day.
All right, so the 21st. So January 21st at 7:30 PM right here at Town Hall. And it would be local law number 1 of 2020. I would like a motion to approve the public hearing.
Make that motion.
Second,
Second motion?
all in favor?
Aye.
I did speak with David right before the meeting. As we are getting closer and closer to having this community center done, we need a contract if it was to be rented by the public for a private event. So we're gonna slowly start working on that, and obviously all of the correspondence will be sent out to the board for your approval. So take a look for that in your email. Hopefully within the next week or so, we'll get the ball rolling with that. I would like a motion to approve the 2020 appointment list.
I'll make that motion to approve the appointment list as written.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would like a motion to approve the 2020 procurement policy.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I would like a motion to approve Middletown Humane Society as our backup Humane Society holder of animals.
We do this every year.
We do, for 2020.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second motion?
all in favor?
Aye.
Supervisor's office budget modifications. Kathleen, would you? be
Do
so
them all
kind to
in
read
one?
those? Huh?
You wanna do them all in one?
Sure.
Okay. So first one is decrease DB 5110.4, maintenance of streets personal services by $1,213.47. Increase DB 1910.4, unallocated insurance contractual by $1,213.47. Decrease B 1560, inspection fee revenue by $3,544.46. Increase B 3620.2, building department equipment by $3,544.46. A 1110.2, justice equipment transfer to capital office equipment, $800. A 1220.2, supervisor equipment transfer to capital office equipment, $195. A 3010.2, public safety equipment transfer to capital office equipment, $274. A 7140.2, playground and recreation equipment transfer to capital playground equipment, $726. Increase A 1990.4, contingency by $1,894.04. Increase A 1330.4, tax collector contractual by $1,894.04. Increase A 1990.4, contingency by $2,049.64. Increase A 1410.4, town clerk contractual by $2,049.64. Increase A 1990.4, contingency by $75.57. Increase A 7140.4, playground and rec contractual by $75.57. Increase A 1990.4, contingency by $7.59. Increase A 3510.4, dog control contractual by $7.59.
Thank you, Kathleen. This last page that Kathleen just read with the 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on there. So all of the ones that came out of contingency to fix another account should not read increase, it should read decrease there. So I've just changed it online. So the very last page, it was a key error when these were written. So it should be decrease 1990.4 on all 4 of those.
Just the 1990.4?
Correct. So I'd like a motion to approve with the adjustment, all of the budget modifications.
I'll make the motion with the adjustments.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We got the budget modifications. A motion to approve the 2020 investment policy.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
It Dean's two budget mods too. I think they came after we did the.
Did you read those or no?
No, not
Oh.
the ones that he sent in
Okay.
separate.
Hey, you didn't say hey. It says on the sheet you're supposed to say hey.
Hey, you A in it?
I mean,
You too? Thank you.
Increased revenue account for sale of equipment, DB 2665, in the amount of $57,407.50. And increased machinery equipment budget account, DB 5130.2, in the amount of $57,407.50. This reflects the proceeds from the sale of surplus trucks sold on Auctions International in November of 2019. Decrease account A 5132.4, the amount of $2,200, and increase budget account A 5132.2 in the amount of $2,200. This is to cover a shortage in account A 5132.2 from the purchase of a new furnace.
Thank you, Kathleen. A motion to approve the highway budget modifications as read.
I'll make the motion to approve the budget modifications.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the committee list, David, would you give one of these to Kathleen? I just want to go over quick. I know that, well, two things. One, let's back up a little. So the budget modifications, when we were going over the budget, and we started cutting some of those equipment lines, that's why. So now this year, we're moving that into surplus, and we'll need less next year, because that's why we did that. So at least we saw it from start to finish and see how that pans out. I did add some stuff to everybody's thing. Unfortunately, we're not a huge town where we have excess staff, so it becomes where we end up jumping in a lot of times. So obviously, all five of us now check, we alternate weeks doing the senior center rentals. The youth center is gonna be added to that. Probably in the summer, we're gonna really need to start looking at that pavilion too, because I almost shut the lights off every night when I go through there. And the tree lighting, next year I'd like to do over at the youth center, so, and hopefully have a big, huge gathering, so I think it's gonna take a little more planning. So I think it would be good to have two members on that, which I now have. Our website, Brian, because you are the most tech savvy person, thus far.
I don't know if I should thank you yet, but,
Because you've done the Facebook page, and I think you've done a great job with it, or I think our website could be a little more user-friendly. And I
Absolutely.
know we've had that conversation,
first one to say it.
so, have at it.
Okay.
Hopefully, you'll be successful with it. Like even tonight, Chris and I were talking to the judge. I added the court liaison. Jim, you do not need to go to every court, but I think they should have a liaison, especially with all of these changes now to the new law. Like he's already talking to me about his staff possibly needing more hours. So I'd rather not wait until July. I'd rather like we kind of know what's going on ahead of time. So I think this is a really good thing. Paul and Dean, I pretty much talk to on a daily basis. I do not necessarily talk to the court every day. I don't talk to the village every day. That's why we have liaisons for all of those other things, and I think it's gonna be good. And I think it's worked out great with football and Little League. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I added on there, but I just think we got a lot going on. We got the concert series, we got community day, we got a youth center, and I got a verbal approval today from Amy Gunther's office to do a $125,000 expansion to town hall, which is something I'm looking to start immediately after we're done with the youth center. So I I think all of the things are good, it's just, I think, I depend on you guys a lot to make it all come together, so.
And now it's in black and white.
And now it's in black and white. Any questions, let me know, but again, the youth center is gonna be one more stop that we're gonna have to make. Talking with, Paul about when we open the youth center, I'm thinking for the gym side, we're gonna do a 6 a.m. start to 11 p.m. at night. So everyone's cards, all of the residents that have cards, they'd be able to get into to exercise during those hours. That'll give significant time for the police at the end of shift to go in and clear the building and make sure that obviously everyone is exited before their shifts end. So, obviously being right next to there, I don't wanna have to have, police officers waiting for someone to leave. You know, if they come back at 11:45, nobody clearly should be in the building. So I think that the timing should work very well with that.
The weekend rental checklist that we get from Kathleen's office, that will coincide, obviously, if there's a rental over at the
Yes.
senior center, right? Okay.
Yep, so we'll just keep
Circle
it
around
the
the
same, yeah, it'll just
Same
be
way.
2 buildings you'll have instead of the other. And I think we'll work it out with Dean too, once spring comes, so that we know what's going on. He gets quite a few rentals over at the pavilion. Just so that we can kind of take a look, especially when he has back-to-back ones. Sometimes it's an issue with either garbage or them not having toilet paper for the next day, or somebody trashed the bathrooms, or.
Maybe we can look at something and discuss it with the lights at the pavilion, because they've been on a lot, or even on weekends, even if it's not rented, they just flip the switch. Maybe we can figure out something like, I don't know.
Well, when it was locked, that was a problem, right, Dean? Right? So when it was, and then we unlocked, and that's a problem, so.
We are having, the panel box changed as soon as the weather breaks in the spring, so we can do something like motion sensor or timers.
I love it, technology, motion sensor. Alright.
I would like a motion to pay abstracts number 41, 42, and number 1 for 2020.
I'll make the motion, we pay all 3 abstracts.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain from the ones that go to my business.
it. And I abstain to, actually, I'm sorry, I have to abstain to one that was for me to go to school.
Duly noted.
Just letting everybody know.
Public participation. Oh, you got a couple, go ahead. Paul.
Yeah, just real quick. So right before Christmas, we had no heat for a couple days, like a day and a half. So this is a problem that's come up again. The system is really old, and they couldn't find a part. So they finally were able to locate it. Me and Chad have spoken about this, and I think Steve's recommendation is that we have an engineer really spec out a new heating, an HVAC system over there. The fan unit that went is not produced anymore, so we're kind of going through secondhand shops, for lack of a better word, to get the parts. So, Steve said really, it wouldn't be, for him to come up with a system, an engineer would spec it all out, and then he could bid on it, but that was his recommendation. So for this year, I think that's definitely something that we should think about. The other thing is, on March 21st, which is a Saturday at the Senior Center, 10 a.m., we're going to have a women's self-defense class for anyone that wants to come. It's geared to women. We have a group coming in that's going to teach it. There'll be no cost. It's Women's History Month, and Anna and Marie wanted to do something specifically for women. I know it's not historical, but that was their idea. So maybe you want to mention it to the seniors as well.
That's at the senior center?
The Senior Center. I think she said she booked it through you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No problem.
Is it
Just wanted-
senior friendly?
It will be for everybody, so, I mean, yeah.
I'm taking you down, Angel. So it might not be senior.
We'll see.
So it should be really, it should be great. 10 a.m., just Saturday, yeah. So we're gonna, we're working on some flyers. It's a little too early yet, we thought, but we'll have some flyers. We'll put it on the website, and you guys can put it on the town website. The last thing, just real quick, so Senator Metzger called me earlier this evening. We set up a meeting for, after about a month. She expressed some concerns with some of the new laws. Probably, I think we will probably not agree 100%, but some things have been identified. And she is, so we decided we're gonna wait a month, see what the actual, I know tomorrow she's meeting with the chief of Port Jervis and the mayor of Port Jervis. And some of the financial concerns, one of the big issues is the state police lab, which is exclusively what we use, have said that they've been underfunded and will not be able to process misdemeanor drug evidence, which clearly is a problem. And she said she's committed to getting money restored to that budget. So it was a very good conversation we had. Hopefully we'll have some more feedback for her in early February. At the February meeting, I'll have some more feedback from her. But and that's what I had, unless anyone had any questions.
Maybe if it gets too big and you get too many women, maybe you can use the new youth center instead.
If I didn't book that because I wasn't sure on an opening date, we certainly can use that if it's open. It's up to you guys. Just when we get a little closer, if
Sure,
it's
open is.
I hope so.
okay. If you want, we can do it there. I just didn't want to jump the gun and then.
Let's see how many people we get.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, thank you.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Did you come to see us?
Yes, and to update, what I have for the resource room.
Come on up.
Have you been up to see the floors done?
No, I have not been up there recently. So, good evening, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So over my winter break, I have been working on the bookcases. The bookcases are ready to be stained and installed into the room. I have gotten some other things for the room, such as a double-sided bookshelf, which will be used for children's books and sensory books on another side, since that will be with the sensory corner. And I have gotten the sensory wall panel and some sensory games. I am right now waiting on the desk for the computers, and it should arrive around this Friday till the 17th.
And you're waiting on us because.
And yes, I'm waiting on the floor before I start
Yes,
going.
well, originally, we thought the carpet was going in, and I'm not an engineer, but it was not where they wanted to put the thing down. It had to be level. To me, I thought it was fine, but it's apparently not.
It's engineered now.
Yes, so now it's perfectly level and we'll be much better off. But I thought with the carpet that was going in there, it was just gonna be fine, but it wasn't.
But if you wanted to bring any of that stuff in, we could put it in the larger room. Like your bookshelves, are they gonna be stained? Are you gonna stain them, or you want me to have them stained?
I'm gonna be staining them.
Do you want to stain them in that youth center?
That was the original plan.
Yes, yeah.
Because of the temperature when
And
I
the heat's
planned on
on,
doing it,
absolutely.
and then the issue with the flooring came up.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. You can put them in that large room, and anytime you wanna go in there, we'll get you in there and.
Yeah, we just gotta put
some
plastic
heat
down.
over there.
Yes. With also school being back in session, and this month I am booked with midterms and regents.
You have to go to school?
We can write you a letter if you'd like.
I will be trying to work it into my schedule to go after school to be able to get some work done, or if I have a day off or a weekend free, I will try to get it done.
Super.
Question I have for you. You and I spoke about this a while ago. The internet is in, the internet works in the building, but you asked about something along the lines of some sort of restrictions.
Yes, I have emailed, the vice principal of my school, because I knew she used to be a tech teacher, wondering if she knew who I could speak with. I have yet to hear word back on that,
No problem.
but I am hoping to go in and talk to her, see who I've talked to for security.
Okay. We have an IT guy now for the town that we've recently hired, and he's supposed to be going up there hopefully with me by Friday, or let's say by next Wednesday, to kind of work on the internet, because we have a bunch of boosters and it should work beautifully in the building. But I will also get his ear about it, see what he says, so we'll all talk and we'll get it working. How about I say that? Yeah. I know you said you want to find out what the school's restrictions are. I like it, yeah. And I'm sure it can't be that hard to do. Plus, we got Jim down there, the guy in the end.
Did a watch
Paul.
guard for it.
That guy. Paul,
The watch
the
guard.
guy in the end.
The watch guard is something, IT guys use to block internet sites, so we might have to do something like that.
Jim's gonna take care of it.
Not me, the IT guy.
And I do have one more question. Will volunteers be able to sign up through the website to be able to use the room for tutoring, story hours, crafts, arts and crafts events, etc.?
That's a great question. I would say yes. we're definitely not there yet. The website guys gotta get on that, but,
Okay.
I don't see a problem with it. I just don't know exactly how we're gonna do it yet, but whether it's, they call and set it up with Kathleen and Paula as to what they're doing, and we'll exit out, it's available at those times. But we'll make it work. It's just, I don't know how we're making it work.
And if you have some ideas, throw them down on paper and we'll make it work for you.
Yeah.
And whoever wants to, that's the purpose of this.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Miss Allison?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
First, I was wondering if you could give any information on this public hearing that you just scheduled regarding information from the planning board.
Sure. Sure. Well,
It's basically, it's kind of a trial and error situation. The new zoning was put in place, and they did a couple things that didn't work quite the way that they expected it to. So there's been a slight change on cluster subdivisions as far as the requirements for the cluster subdivisions. And I don't recall.
yeah, so on the cluster subdivision, they're looking for one word change from shall to may. They are looking for, regulations on the solar farms to allow them to have an additional foot fence, which isn't currently in our zoning, so that the federal government's saying it should be 7 feet with the barbed wire. We only allow 6 feet, but 7 feet because it avoids anyone from getting in there, the barbed wire, everything else. Well, it's not in our zoning, so the planning board is recommending that we allow that, so that's part of the law. And putting a second building on one parcel. They would like that also to be able to be permitted from the,
Yeah, so the new zoning created a situation where you can put a second residence on a single lot, provided that you can demonstrate that if that residence can be subdivided off and still meet all current zoning regulations. That process had to go through the planning board. The planning board and the building department felt it was better that it just go through the building department with the recommendation of the engineer. And I think the other one was also the same kind of thing with accessory apartments. If you're going to have a accessory apartment in the main structure and it meets all the zoning, they don't think you should need to go to the planning board just for that, and the building department would then be able to approve it, okay?
yeah, those are the 4 items.
Thank you. So, moving on to my other piece. So, as most of us know, barring any unforeseen circumstances, a Dollar General is about to be approved and built on Route 211 in a commercially zoned location in Otisville. Dollar stores have become a growing phenomenon in the country, typically targeting rural, low-income neighborhoods. And while they can provide increased tax income and a small number of jobs, they also bring with them significant side effects that change the fabric of a small town. Much research has been done on this over the last few years, and a lot of studies have shown that they reduce the amount of quality food and produce available to a community. They discourage the opening of other independently owned businesses who cannot compete with a franchise. They carry processed foods that are often not lower in price when you consider the cents per ounce of the product. Their aggressive pricing drives locally owned stores like Mix and True Value out of business. And finally, the jobs they provide are low quality and minimum wage. I'm not opposed to new businesses opening in the town of Mount Hope. In fact, we should be encouraging business development, but with an emphasis on small local businesses, not national franchises. At the public hearing for Dollar General on November 20th, the town supervisor suggested that the public bears some responsibility, as at no time during the revision of the town's master plan did anyone say, we don't want a national franchise like Dollar General in our town. And to a certain extent, he is right. However, being asked to predict what businesses we might want or not want years down the road is like asking us to look into a crystal ball and predicting a future we can't imagine. Therefore, following a suggestion of the town engineer after the last planning board meeting, I would like to ask this board to consider creating and passing an ordinance addressing future formula businesses. Stores and restaurants that have standardized services, decor, methods of operation, and other features that make them virtually identical to businesses elsewhere. Other cities and towns across the country have already adopted ordinances that either prohibit formula businesses, cap their total number, or require that they meet certain conditions to open. Because Dollar General's business model is to open multiple stores within 5 miles of each other, at this time there is nothing that will stop them from opening more stores in the town of Mount Hope. I have brought information tonight from the Institute of Local Self-Reliance regarding formula stores that I'd like to give to the board, and I'd like to ask you to review it and consider creating and adopting a similar ordinance.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
I have a silly question.
Can you step up to the podium like everyone else?
I can.
Good evening.
Good evening, and happy New Year. Congratulations to all. Dean, you, well, Chad made me, Blaine Chad, he made me think of the Christmas tree. 'Cause he said you possibly are gonna move the Christmas tree lighting to the,
Yeah, we planted a tree over there 2 years ago. We're just waiting for her to grow a little bit.
okay. Well, I was at the Christmas tree lighting here, and it was very nice. I had a donut and everything. But I'm curious, Dean, every other Christmas tree I see decorated around the circumference of the tree. And your tree is decorated in a vertical manner. And I'm just curious as to why. I think the circumference decoration is more attractive, and others do too that I've spoken with, just in passing.
We have an opening on the Christmas tree committee, if you'd like to.
I can.
The tree we have outside is huge, it's gigantic.
This tree is beautiful.
I'm not disagreeing, but it's huge, and I give Dean and the guys credit for decorating it, and I
No, I'm
understand what
not
you're saying.
taking away
But
credit.
I think the lift goes up and down, it doesn't go right and left, so
I
I
was
think
just
they're
curious
kind of
as to
forced
the
on
why. Dean, can you answer, please, or Chad just did?
The tree's about 80 feet tall. I think next year it'll be gone, we have to cut it down, it's unsafe.
Is that at the Times Square?
Is that the problem, it's too tall?
To decorate it that way, I believe it is.
The lawn out there is wet, it's a very wet location out there, always has been. If you wanna walk out there, there's ruts about this deep from the lift getting stuck. It's not an easy task.
No, I'm not saying it is, I'm not asking the question, simply, quite simply.
We do the best
If
we
you want to
can with what
complicate
we
it, we
have.
can.
We're not Rockefeller Center.
I like it.
Let's sell our tree to them next year.
Thank you.
I'd like
There
to.
you go.
Anybody else? Super, board comments. What do you got, Nat?
I'd just like to congratulate all our either newly elected or re-elected officials on their swearing-in ceremonies and their new terms. They're just getting kicked off. And that's all this evening.
Ryan?
I just wanna thank everyone for coming. I'm a little in shock that Mrs. Marizio talked for 2 minutes and 35 seconds today.
And you allowed someone else to go over.
First meeting of the year, congratulations. And, no, that's all I have.
Chris?
I just thank everybody for coming, and, good.
Jim?
Just want to congratulate everybody for their ceremony today. And the only thing I had to remind Dean, the agreement, 284 agreement. Can you get that to us this year? That's it.
Super. Well, thank you everyone for coming. I would like a motion to adjourn. please.
Make a motion?
Second?
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't think that these are talking for me and